Today I'm going to be working in the studio on this painting that I started outside recently. You might have seen it in a previous video. It's one that's been started in acrylic and various other water-based media. Today I'm going to be working in oil paint, hopefully to achieve a more natural and softer look with deeper colours. The first thing I'm going to do with the painting is I'm going to give it a coat of, just go over it with some fast drying oil painting medium to kind of seal in everything that's there and to give it a surface that I can work more readily with oil paint on. The acrylic tends to go very dry and flat and be quite hard. You know, it's very hard to be working on, so it's a little bit unforgiving as a surface, particularly once it's dry. So if I just go over that with some quick drying oil painting medium, and it just soften the surface up a little bit and prepare it for the oil paint that's going over the top. And already I can see that it's brought out the depth of the colour. Although some of the things you do at this point of the painting can seem quite terrifying and a bit drastic, because of the increased drying time of oil paint rather than acrylic or any kind of water-based paint, there's not really very much I can do to the painting that's going to be permanent if I don't want it to be. I'd have to leave it to dry kind of overnight, really, before it got to a point where I was going to be in real trouble about having to remove things that I didn't want there. And in fact, going over areas of the painting which have got an awful lot, you know, this is kind of like the sky area up here, and I've kind of gone over that with these burnt sienna and some of this sap green mixed with a little bit of black. What I really want with that is to be able to find all the little marks and grooves and scratches and brush strokes that I did that have hardened into the acrylic paint, and I really want to be able to start working back through and find all those really interesting marks again. And with this slightly darker paint that I've put over the top here, this darker oil paint, it'll go into all those little grooves and marks and really bring them out and make them even more interesting. So as you can see, the oil paint comes off quite easily, but it's leaving behind some really nice little bits of mark making where the pigment has gone into the grooves and scratches and brush strokes, which is really what I want. Creates a lot of subtlety. So at this point, taking the paint off is just as important as putting it on. I'm not really trying to drastically change the painting. I only really start working with the oil paint like this once I feel like the painting has become more or less resolved. I don't want to be going in and really radically changing where things are and the position of different parts of the painting. I'm really just trying to bring out what's already there, create a bit of subtlety. And reinforce the painting as it was made when I was outside. And adding just a little bit of white spirit to the painting at this point, it cuts back through the oil paint again and starts to get slightly cleaner back into the underpainting. Make it a bit fresher. I think you do have to be a bit careful that you start putting these colours over the top, that it doesn't all start getting a bit heavy and gloomy. I want to keep the freshness there. And I still want to be able to see these nice bright acrylic colours coming through. I'll probably work over some of it in a minute, but the strength of the acrylic colours is really nice. I just want to reinforce them a bit. I don't feel like I'm trying to make any major changes to the painting. Again, I'm just trying to reinforce some of the marks that were already here. Sometimes they get buried under the new paint that's going over the top. I want to bring them back again. Sometimes I just feel like they could do with a little bit more strength. But I like this kind of constant going backwards and forwards with the surface, laying paint down and then taking it off again, putting it back down again. I feel that it creates a kind of history in the marks, but the things that end up staying there, they're not there by accident. They're marks that have sort of survived the process, really. And they're ingrained into the surface of the painting, they're not superficial. I just want to try and start to pull out some of these slightly stronger colours that are here, using quite a similar sort of leafy green colour as to the one that I was using in acrylic. But I don't really want to change the colouring too much. Don't want it to feel like two separate paintings. So I'm trying to use as close to the same sort of colours in oil as I was using in acrylic. And again, just reinforcing some of the things that are already there. That's probably about it for this painting. What I'll have to do is I'll let it sit for a little bit and come back to it tomorrow and have a look at it and see if I feel like it needs any more adding to it. It may not. So that's the way it goes with these sorts of paintings. You just have to keep trying and seeing what happens, really. I'm hoping it's done, but time will tell.